Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast.
So
All
they
right.
tell us.
So we've had a chance to recover from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, because how we do with the Super Bowl, we got wild and crazy, and
Oh
Ate,
yeah.
ate way too much food.
yeah, that is true. We did eat a lot of cocktail weenies and brats.
Yeah.
That's like the one time a year though I actually indulge in that kind of stuff. Not brats. That's a year-round food here.
Well, yeah,
That's what I
Yeah.
actually had for dinner.
I'd say I probably bust the cocktail weenies out maybe like 3 times a year.
New Year's, Super Bowl, and Christmas.
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah,
about
that's
right.
about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for Christmas and New Year's though, we bring out the cocktail weenies and wrap them in bacon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We really and then we eat so much we all feel like we're gonna be sick.
Perfect.
That's the only way to celebrate.
Yeah, for
Once
sure.
you're done, you get a food coma.
Yeah, I can't
All
imagine it any other way.
No. All right. Well, we should probably start off with Justin's favorite segment because I know he was probably gonna bring it up anyway.
Doubt it.
We're gonna talk about some celebrity death.
Oh boy.
Who kicked the bucket this week?
Well, like it must have happened during the Super Bowl because it definitely broke like after we recorded. But Ivan Reitman passed away, and I don't remember how old he was. But let me just give you a quick rundown of what he directed. A gem called Cannibal Girls.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, that was one of his first movies. Then we get to Meatballs, Stripes, Ghostbusters, Legal Eagles, Twins, Ghostbusters 2, Kindergarten Cop, Dave Jr., Father's Day, so not everything. 6 Days, 7 Nights, Evolution, My Super Ex-Girlfriend, No Strings Attached, and Draft Day. That's just what he directed. Some clunkers in there, but I mean, obviously, Ghostbusters, Kindergarten Cop, Twins, I mean, Stripes.
Hell yeah.
But then you look through, and I'm not going to read everything because there's 93 of them. But you look at what he produced. This stuff that he just produced, he didn't direct. Animal House, Heavy Metal, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, Beethoven, Space Jam, Private Parts, the cartoon Mummies Alive, Road Trip, Old School, Euro Trip, Trailer Park Boys the movie, Disturbia,
Jeez.
Hotel for Dogs, I Love You Man, another trailer, Hitchcock. Oh no, that's not that. Okay, yeah, but the new Ghostbusters movies, the new Baywatch movie, the news. Yeah, I mean that's the stuff that he produced. I mean, so man,
Pretty
big,
amazing.
big, giant, amazing bucket of wind. And plus, I mean, you look at his son, Jason Reitman,
Yeah.
who has directed a lot more than just that new Ghostbusters movie, but he's a pretty darn amazing director in his own right. His daughter, Catherine Reitman, has done a lot of acting, a lot of guest spots on Always Sunny and some other stuff, but she's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So big cauldron of wind for Ivan Reitman.
All right. Hell yeah.
right.
He will be missed.
All right. So Okay, we're not going to talk about the Oscars very much this year because I just don't care.
Well, that's good because
That's-
me and Jeremy have never cared.
That's true.
I know that I tend to bore the both of you with constantly haranguing about the Oscars. Um, but the Oscars just continue to fuck up. I mean, you look at the 10 movies that they nominated for Best Picture, and it's ridiculous. I mean, half of them are movies that people have never heard of, like always. But in a year where you've had really low box office receipts and just it's hard getting people back into the theater. You have a movie like Spider-Man No Way Home that honestly was worthy of Best Picture of the Year nomination. I mean, it was
Wow.
good. It wasn't just like just because I love Marvel and thought it's the best movie. It was really well done. I mean, Justin, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Jeremy, I don't know if I mean obviously you had to listen to that.
I skipped past that part because I didn't want to hear anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah, but I mean, I would say hands down, even if it was a year that wasn't a down box office year, it was a movie worth being nominated for Best Picture of the Year. And the fact that they ignored it pretty much across the board is just it's asinine.
Hmm.
But I mean that's an argument that you could make every year when you're like, well, how do you not nominate Endgame, or how do you not nominate any number of other movies? But have you heard who they decided the hosts are going to be this year?
mm-mm.
Of course not.
Okay.
Come
Pop
on.
culture
now.
roulette.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll start with the one that probably doesn't raise the meter at all. Nobody's going to be yay or nay either way on it. Regina Hall. There's going to be three hosts this year.
Okay, remind me again who that is.
That's why I didn't think the meter would move very high either way on that one. Justin, do you know who she is?
Now it's top of my head.
I think she was in the cheerleading movie with Kristen Dunst, maybe. I don't
Bring it
know.
on.
Yes, Bring It On. I think she was in that, but I'm not sure.
I mean, that was so long ago. Is there anything more like recent?
I think she's moved into directing stuff.
Okay. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
know who
We
this
both
is.
go.
Okay.
We both hit up the Google later.
Okay.
Okay, I recognize her.
All right. Okay, so that's host number one.
All right.
Host number two. You guys are probably gonna know this one, but I'm guessing it won't move the meter very much either. Wanda Sykes.
Of course, we know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm guessing you guys aren't like, oh, I want to watch it because she's on it, or
No.
I'm not gonna watch it because she's on it.
No,
Yeah, but like, yeah, it's kind of so. Right now, we've got two hosts in, and we're both
Just-
kind of like, well, all three of us are kind of like, eh. It's the third choice that's mind-boggling.
Oh. Okay.
That you're not looking it up right now, are you?
I'm not.
Okay, all right. Because I wanna bring the pain
Okay.
with the third choice, and it makes like, all right, you see a trend there with Regina Hall and Wanda Sykes. So there's an idea of what the third one's gonna be,
Uh-huh.
and man, they take a left turn.
I have an idea of what the third one's going to be, but that's just because it's all right.
Well, who do you think it's gonna be?
Oh, I don't know. I think an old white man.
Okay, I mean, you're not too far off.
This is the 2022 version of Guess Who.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even guess. I don't
Okay.
know.
Amy Schumer.
Wow.
No thanks.
Right.
That's close.
It's like, wow.
Yeah. That was
So you're struggling. So you haven't had a host in 2 years, 3 years since the whole Kevin Hart debacle of a couple years ago.
Yeah. What happened with that? Was he just not a good host?
No, they hired him to be the host, and then people did what they do whenever somebody gets something good in their life, and they
Mhm.
start bringing up old tweets or old jokes from stand-up comedians. And he
Yeah.
had a few jokes that, if you don't have a sense of humor, could have been homophobic.
Mm,
And
that shit.
so like people were yelling and screaming, and so he said, you know what, I forget it, I quit, I'm not going to do them. It's just not worth it to me, it's not worth it to my career, I'm out. And so
Yeah.
the Oscars said, well, in honor of that, we're just not going to have a host this year.
Ah.
And then I think I want to say it was just the next year they were like, oh well, our ratings weren't that much of a hit, and with COVID and blah blah blah, they just didn't have a host at all.
Hmm.
And the ratings bombed. Like they were just some of the worst they've ever had. Um, so this year they've decided they're going to have three hosts, and somehow they were like, you know who we should hire? Who's the worst stand-up comedian we can possibly think of?
Wow.
Yeah.
Amy Schumer.
Like when you said the first two, I was gonna make like a joke about an Oreo. So I was like, it's gotta be a white person.
Well, I mean, I honestly expected them to say like, I was figuring with those two, they'd go like Tracy Ellis Ross or Tiffany Haddish, or somebody who is
John,
sometimes.
I was thinking Bill Hader.
Well, I mean, maybe, but
Might actually get me to watch it then.
yeah, Anthony Anderson. I don't know. I figured there was a trend there, and there's a ton of talented people. But
Mhm.
instead, they went with Amy Schumer. I mean, the
Yeah.
only person less talented would have been Chelsea Handler.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that they decided that. I guess maybe
Yeah,
they're trying to self-sabotage. They're doing this on purpose now.
I
They,
don't
they
know.
got something big planned next year. They're like, we're gonna tank this year.
Yeah.
Well, I
Come
mean,
back with a bang.
when they first said they were going to have a host, they immediately were like, "We're going to have Tom Holland do it." Then they were like, "Well, he's not available, so we're going to get The Rock." And then The Rock was like, "I'm good. I don't need this." So then they were talking about having Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez do it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the Three Amigos.
No, everybody hates Chevy Chase, so we can talk about him next because he just did an interesting article.
Hmm.
But
Uh,
they had this list of people that they were talking about, and they were dumb enough to like kind of publicly put out, this is what we want. I mean, they were even saying like, we're going to get Tom Holland and Zendaya, or just Tom Holland, or maybe all three Spider-Men, or and so people were like,
I mean, all
okay,
three
that like,
Spider-Man, I would have watched that one.
right, they were like, okay, that might be exciting. And then when they finally made the announcement, they're like, all right guys, we got something even better. Regina Hall, Wanda Sykes, and Amy Schumer. And everybody went, eh.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I mean, overwhelmingly, the comments I read on Twitter and Facebook were like, why would you bring Amy
Why?
Schumer into this? I probably wasn't going to watch anyway, but now I'm definitely not going to watch. Like, I would say 75% of the comments I read were like, why would you bring Amy Schumer in?
Well, it was what 100% of this podcast was like, I'm good. Amy
I
Schumer, nah.
No.
I mean, I tend to watch the Oscars every year anyway because I just love to torture myself for no apparent reason. But this year, like outside of Dune, I don't think I've seen any of the Best Picture nominees. And Dune, regardless of what people tell you, it's fucking boring as hell. It's 3 hours, nothing happens. I mean, it looks beautiful. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, the acting is really good, but it is so fucking boring. It's just, I mean, maybe when the next one or two come out and like you can see it all in like one story, like it'll be better.
Mhm.
But the 3 hour that they put out, or 3.5 hour, whatever god awful length movie that was, it was so. I don't have the list in front of me of who the Best Picture nominees were,
I'm checking them out right now, actually.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Uh,
mean, I
Belfast,
never heard of it.
King
Mm-mm.
Richard.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, that's the Will Smith, Williams sister
Yeah.
movie. I'd watch that one.
Yeah, that looks interesting. Coda,
Never heard of it.
Licorice Pizza.
I do want to see that one.
That looks good. Don't
That
look up.
sounds like it'd be a terrible food.
It does sound like it would be a terrible food, but
I like both of those things, but not together.
did you watch Don't Look Up?
Yes,
Is
I
it
did.
is it as bad as I think it is?
It's it's extremely long. Like it's way too drawn out. Like they could have cut a bunch of it out because I think it's a little over 3 hours, maybe. And it's very just kind of like I don't know if I want to say I don't know if it's preachy, but it's definitely got that like, oh, this group of politicians say don't believe the media, and this group is like, oh, don't do that, and
Yeah, it's
they
kind of
just
why I
keep
did.
they just keep bringing that point up. Oh, they said don't look up, but I could see the comment. We've been last.
Yeah, I kind of felt like based off of the cast and the director, like that was just kind of a given that it was going to be super preachy, so I didn't necessarily watch it. All right,
Right,
what's
next up.
after?
Yeah, I watched that on New Year's.
Oh. Next movie is Nightmare Alley.
Oh, I do want to
That
see
looks
that
good.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's on HBO or Hulu or something like that.
sweet. Drive My Car.
I did that.
Okay.
Handles nice.
I appreciate it. The Power of the Dog.
Oh, that's that Benedict Cumberbatch like Western movie.
Okay. Dune, as you mentioned, and West Side Story.
Which I'd
Sounds-
rather, I don't know, shoot myself than watch.
Wow.
Well, don't do that.
It's a musical. It's a musical that's been done. The only reason it got nominated is because Steven Spielberg directed it. It's a legacy film. It's a movie that got nominated 40 years ago and won a bunch of Oscars. It's just another remake that because it is what it is, and because Steven Spielberg directed it, we have to slobber all over.
Yeah, you tell them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fuck Hollywood.
And this is why we're not hosting.
I mean,
That's
it
true.
would make the Oscars a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Let me
sure.
tell you. Let me tell you why your movie doesn't deserve to be nominated. But here's the list anyway. I mean, again, the most interesting category is probably the best animated one, where Disney's up against itself. 3 of the 5 top choices: Encanto, Luca, and what was the other one? I can't remember now. Oh, Ryan the Last Dragon.
Oh, I've not seen that one. I've seen the other 2.
And then Mitchell versus the Machines, which I know is somewhere to stream, or it was. I don't, but I didn't see it. And then a movie that one of those little art house animated films that they nominate every year, but everybody knows doesn't stand a chance. But they want to be like, see, we don't just nominate Disney or DreamWorks, and then like 3 Disney, 1 DreamWorks, and then the other art house film that people are not gonna. I mean, it's gonna be Encanto. I mean, hands down.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and mark that up as the guaranteed lock win of the Oscars. I mean, yeah, it is.
All right.
Anyway, but I mean, no, I mean, the Oscars continue. I mean, they said that if memory serves, the ratings for the Oscars, I think the year that Titanic won the Oscars was one of the highest ever at like 52 or 55 million. And then last year it was like 10. This year, I think it's going to be even worse. Now, a lot of it has to do with all award shows across the board. Ratings are down and terrible. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, one, people are kind of tired of Hollywood self-aggrandizing itself. But I think the bigger thing is people don't want to hear celebrities who have millions and millions of dollars win an award and then preach at us for how stupid we are. And
Yeah.
tell us what we should do with our money while they comfortably sit on theirs and not do any of what they're telling us we should do.
All right.
Plus they hire Amy Schumer to be the host, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
anyway.
Better things they could do with their money.
We might bring the Oscars up again after the ceremony, just because we'll talk about who won. But I doubt we'll do anything. I mean, maybe I'll watch some highlights on YouTube the next day just to see it. But I'm gonna say this will be the first year that I'm not gonna even remotely try to watch part of it. I just don't care.
Welcome to the club.
All right.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
If I was to say power of a bucket, power of rainwater, who would you think of?
Justin.
Chevy Chase.
Oh no! Oh well, no, I forgot about this.
I thought you were trying to loop it back around.
No. I'm trying to make you say a name without saying their like the first part of their catchphrase.
Captain Planet.
Oh well, we're getting closer. But they were on the original Justice Friends. Zane and something or other. Zane and Jaina. They had a monkey.
Oh, what is their name? Is it I was gonna say Wonder Twins.
Oh, there you go. You
is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Wonder Twins.
The Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
Yeah, okay.
We're getting a live action Wonder Twins movie.
Jeremy's a little confused over there.
Come on, Jeremy, you know who the Wonder Twins are, don't you?
I've heard of them.
Okay. We're getting the live action Wonder Twins movie on HBO Max.
All right, who's playing them?
Amy Schumer.
I don't think they've got that. Oh, well, all right, never mind. I'm not excited about it anymore.
Let's take a look at these guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to even remember what they look like. Yeah.
They've got stupid purple outfits and like triangles on their shirt, on their chest.
I can picture. I'm just trying to picture what the characters would look like to try to get an idea.
I imagine that they'll update the outfit by a lot.
They'd have to.
I feel like Jeremy must have found something that's not exactly a Wonder Twins accurate.
I don't think this was canon.
Found some Wonder Twin cosplay, did you?
Yeah. All right, so we should get Bill Hader and Olivia Munn.
Okay.
That'd probably make it watchable.
Or that one lady from NCIS. The goth girl.
Oh, Polly Perrette?
Yeah.
I mean, you could do Bill Hader and like Anna Kendrick. That would work too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Would be a good one.
Allison Brie.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
All right. Well, all right. So
I love Allison Brie.
So we've casted the Jaina role.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm fairly excited about that one. I mean, it's going to be cheesy. I'm kind of hoping that James Gunn has something to do with it because, are either of you caught up on Peacemaker?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Still no.
Still no. Have you watched any of it?
I watched the first episode.
Okay.
I haven't been keeping up on pop culture, unlike some people who watch movies from the 80s.
Hey, just because Saturday after I got home from work, I watched Bloodsport.
I'm watching movies from the 60s right now.
Well, today I did watch a movie called Antlers.
Rant?
It's a relatively new horror film on HBO Max. I don't know if it's on regular HBO or not, but I just happened to find it on. So the wife and I watched it today. It's really slow moving, but it's good. It's bizarre. Um, it's kind of about the Wendigo.
What's that?
The you know the you know the Wendigo. The creature. Like if you eat a person, like you become like a Wendigo, kind of like this evil Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, okay.
But
Seen this thing.
they kind of changed the myth a little bit, but it still works.
Uh-huh.
It you might like it. I
That's
mean, like I said,
cool.
it's a little slow for a horror movie, but not necessarily in a bad way.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
I've watched Doctor No recently
Okay,
and From Russia with Love.
okay.
So I've
Oh,
watched the first two. I'm working my way up.
that's tough. I mean,
Oh,
those are both. I mean, Rush from Russia with Love is a great movie, but that's also like slower
yeah, but that
early
would be a
one.
good one. I mean, Doctor No was the first one, but From Russia with Love was probably the one that really set the tone for the rest of them.
True.
Really,
Yeah.
really was that.
Yeah.
That's one of the higher. That's one of the higher ones off the list anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
now
I enjoyed that one.
I'm gonna have to go downstairs and get my box set and bring it upstairs now. But
So I'm hoping to get another one or two done by next week.
okay. Well, you keep at it. You've got a lot of movies to watch.
I do.
Speaking of Chevy Chase, since we just were, um,
Yes.
um,
This episode's all over the board.
yeah, it is, and well, I mean, that's just standard pop culture roulette, really. Just ping ponging around, just follow the bouncing ball. Hopefully, keep up with where we are.
Mhm.
Who was it? It was no, not Danny Glover. Not no, that's the wrong Donald Glover. It wasn't Donald Glover. It was somebody else had done an interview where he was like, "Yeah, Chevy Chase is just a real jerk. Like he's just an asshole." And he like so of course they went and talked to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I am. Deal with it. That's just who I am." And I was like, "Wow, okay,
Props for owning it.
yeah." But I mean, like when you hear stories about how difficult he is on set and like just how much of an asshole, and like you heard like what he did or how he acted towards Donald Glover on the set of Community to the point where they removed him from the last season or two. Um, and just like how like Saturday Night Live basically got rid of him because like the entire cast was just like, we can't have this guy around anymore. Like he's just so taught like I just don't understand how you can function as a person, or alternately be as funny as Chevy Chase is in the vacation movies or Fletch or Three Amigos, and be that much of an asshole off camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just shows how good of an actor he really is.
I guess.
Should have won an Oscar.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we went through his catalog, we could find something that he was probably in that deserved an Oscar.
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
All right. Uh, no real segue for anything today. We're struggling for segues, but it is what it is.
I gave you one and you dropped the ball.
Okay. I don't. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I dropped the ball. I mean, so Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon from Walking Dead, or one of the brothers from Boondock Saints, has his next project lined up for when The Walking Dead finally ends here. I think they're about to start their last season, or just did. I don't know. But that probably means he's actually done filming The Walking Dead, so he's got his next project lined up. It is it's interesting, and I'm down for it.
Is he going to be in the Wonder Twins?
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, sure. Let's put him there. Him and Allison Brie are the Wonder Twins.
Done.
No. He's teaming up with the Jim Henson Company and a group. This couple named the Freuds or the Frouds, the guys who were behind the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth.
Okay.
and all three of them are teaming up to make a TV show of some kind.
Interesting.
I feel like it's gonna be dark and twisted and fun and just worth watching.
Huh.
Because I mean the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth are I mean they're obviously somewhat kid friendly, but they're dark and twisted at the same time.
Hmm.
And Norman Reedus is just a weird guy, but weird in a fun, like entertaining
Dark
way.
and twisted way.
Yeah. And I mean, come on, Jim Henson Company. I mean, the Muppets, Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock. I mean, they have done some pretty amazing things. So I'm all for it. I'm ready to see whatever they have to offer.
All
Yeah.
right. Stamp of approval on
Yeah,
these
why not?
plans.
Can't
Did
change
you,
them now. We approve.
um, have either of you watched the newer Star Trek movies, the Chris Pine ones?
The first one.
Never seen any Star Trek stuff in my life.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, well-
TV show, movies, nothing.
When you're done with James Bond, get on that. Go right back to the 60s and watch the original Star. No, J.J. Abrams, Chris Pine, Zach Quinto, those guys, they did those three movies. Well, I guess they're getting together and doing a fourth,
Okay.
which I thought was
No.
going to get more of a discussion, but it did not. So, all right then,
Moving on.
moving on.
Those are the best segments. All right, I got this news.
All right.
Okay, I thought we were going to have a lot more discussion there, and I thought,
Well, I don't even
was-
remember the first one, and that's the only one I've seen. So, yeah.
okay then. So, what has anybody watched this week?
James Bond movies.
Okay.
That's really it. Aren't they going to be starting the America's Got Talent soon? Is that scheduled for like Monday?
I believe so.
So that's at least, something coming up we can look forward to watching.
That's coming back already?
The extreme version
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. All right.
has been teased. I think that comes out Monday.
Let's see here. I believe you are right. But just to make sure.
It's not like we've ever been wrong on this podcast about something before. So
Yes, you're right. It is premiering tomorrow, which means
next week, maybe.
2 weeks from now, we'll have to do a recap on 2 episodes.
Yes.
Because next week we will not be recording a normal episode.
Yeah, it's true. We might be man down.
Or we might have an interview series lined up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay, I mean, I guess we could go that way. All right.
I checked out the latest episode of Media Pod Smash.
Oh,
I enjoy
sweet.
I enjoy their the playlist now.
Oh, nice. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to that. Interesting song so far. I think there's three on there.
Very eclectic so far.
Yeah.
So are you only wanting to add songs off of Media Pod Smash, or do you want to roll, like, do you want us to give you songs to add as well? Like, how
Oh,
do you
yeah.
want to do this?
If you want to add songs, you could feel free. Yeah, I don't care.
All right. Write this one down. Happy Idiot TV on the Radio.
All right.
Interesting.
It is amazing song. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. I mean,
I
TV
just
on
added it.
TV on the Radio is a highly underrated band that criminally is flown under the radar. But Happy Idiot is such a good song.
Sweet. All right.
I'll have to listen to that one on there. Cool. Yeah.
So
Oh, I'd say I don't have anything to be put on the spot. Maybe that's the one I was just listening to. Far From Perfect by Rise Against. That's a good song. I don't know if you've heard that one.
No, I have not.
That's a pretty good one.
All right.
It's about just like you being yourself. Like be proud of who you are. We're not all perfect. Give it your best efforts.
Okay, sweet. I'll put it
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. Nothing else I've been too involved in right now. Waiting for football season to come back. Only got like 190 some days, 97, 198.
Won't be long.
But who's counting?
I mean, well, I'm not under the belief that we are going to lose much of any of the baseball season with the strike that's happening, or not strike, lockout that's happening. It's
I don't know why they got to call it a lockout. It's basically a strike.
well because the players aren't the ones that. I mean, the owner. It's a lockout because the owners are the ones that started it.
They're both to blame.
The players didn't go, "We're done," and walk out. I mean, yes, you're right. They're both to blame.
Get your
I mean-
multi-million-dollar heads out of your asses and just go play baseball.
As I was talking about it earlier, it's you have a group of millionaires mad at a group of billionaires that they're not making enough money. They're not making more millions than they already are. But here's what's going to happen. Spring training should have started Friday, or this upcoming Friday.
Mhm.
It's not going to. It's been pushed back at least a week, which means paychecks would start rolling in because pitchers and catchers should have already reported. Everybody, they should have reported like a week ago. Everybody else should be reporting like this week. That means these guys are going to start missing paychecks. Owners are going to start missing gate receipts. They're going to start missing TV revenues. They're going to start missing important contract dates. They're going to have to start paying out of pocket to vendors for things when they're not actually supplying anything because of contracts. There's going to be a big push to put these men in the same room and get something done here pretty soon, because when you start messing with wallets, that's when the deals get done.
Yeah, it's usually within the final hours or when things actually start happening.
Yeah, because they keep going, oh, they only sat down with each other for 15 minutes before they walked out of the room. Well, that means they didn't want to be in the room to begin with, because what is either side saying in 15 minutes? I mean,
they're just making fun of the fans who are freaking out. These guys are freaking out. We'll get a deal done, and then they all left.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. And I'm not even sure I 100% understand all of the details, but I do know that it's essentially the players want more money. The owners don't want to pay them more money. The owners have put themselves in a situation where they keep paying Fernando Tatis Jr., Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Mike Trout, Juan Soto, what's that guy? Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge. They keep paying these guys way too much money. And they're handcuffing themselves. I mean, they're paying Bryce Harper ridiculous amounts of money, and then they're like, well, we paid him, $430 million for 15 years, and now we can't afford this stuff. Well, you then don't pay Bryce Harper $430 million. Just tell him to get over it.
Yeah.
Tell him this is all we're going to pay and move on with your day. So the owners want a salary cap, but it's like, but you guys did it to yourselves. You didn't have to pay the players that kind of money. Like, you chose to do that.
Yeah, now some of the other players are wanting more money than they're worth. Not saying they're
Right.
not worth the money, but in the owner's eyes.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I
A
mean,
bunch of ass clowns.
basically,
Mhm.
I mean, but it's the same in all sports. I mean,
The 1% of the 1% there.
yeah, the football players are every bit the ass clowns. The NBA, even with the hard salary cap and like you're not allowed to pay a player above this amount of money and stuff, you still have players getting paid asinine amounts of money that no human should be getting paid to play a fucking game.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, that's
True.
not going to stop. That's not going to stop me from watching baseball. It's not going to stop me from watching football or hockey. It probably should, but it's not.
I'll still watch basketball. I'll still watch football.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still wear an Angel shirt pretty much every other day because that's most of my wardrobe. But
It's true.
whatever. I mean, I think that gives me the right to have an opinion that has no basis, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So enough about that. Has anybody watched anything or has heard any news that we haven't talked about yet?
Ooh, well, before we started rolling today, I was watching the World Tag event on ESPN World.
World Tag? What? What?
So the contestants step into the arena, and it's the first, they have 20 seconds to one opponent has to try to tag the other, and there's all these obstacles set up in between them, and they have
I think I've seen that.
It's actually pretty entertaining. I didn't think I'd enjoy watching two people chase each other around for so long, but
Because I think that was originally a show on one of the ABC, NBC, one of those ones where it's hosted by the Watt brothers.
yeah, I remember seeing that too.
Yeah, it was like
Oh.
World Tag Championship. It was
Well, this
Yeah.
one, they took themselves extremely seriously in this. Like there was an arena with the crowd, and the
Yeah,
teams were like trash talking.
it's like parkour tag or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's pretty crazy.
Hardcore parkour.
Yeah, basically.
Have either of you guys watched that movie Tag
No,
With-
wait.
with John Hamm and I gotta pull it up real fast. Jeremy Renner.
Yes, I did watch that one where that group of friends plays that game of tag for like X amount of years,
Oh yeah, for
only from a certain time to a certain time.
right, and they've been playing it for decades. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Jeremy Renner, Ed Helms, Jake Johnson, John Hamm, Little Ray Howery, and Isla Fisher, Hannibal. Yeah, a bunch of other somewhat
Yes.
famous people. Yeah,
I saw that in theaters.
it's kind of funny. Yeah, but it's about that group of friends who've been playing a lifelong game of tag.
Nice.
Yeah, only for like a certain amount of time every year. So,
That's a good premise.
so like for like a month or something, they'll all play tag. So they always remember who's it. So he'll just like randomly show up at like a funeral or a birthday party or the guy's work.
Nice.
And then they even show the group of friends at the end with their game.
Oh yeah, the real friends.
The
Yeah.
real friends. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
entertaining movie.
Yeah, it's all right. It wasn't. I mean, it's not like no Oscar-winning movie like Dune, but that reminds me. Do you guys remember that show that oddly enough was on Sci-Fi, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago? I want to say I was watching it when I lived in the apartment in Wanego. It was either tag. It was a version of tag or hide and seek or capture the flag, where like you had a group of people who like they'd put them out on like a map. They had like an abandoned factory, and then they had like wrestlers or other like kind of like American Gladiator style people like dressed in suits with like walkie talkies, like chasing them down. And if they like captured them, they were out of the game, and whoever was like the last one standing won a prize. Or do either of you remember that?
Sounds really
No.
familiar.
It was really bizarre, and I never understood why it was on the Sci-Fi Channel. But
Yeah, did it have it? They didn't dress up in like scary costumes at all? Like it had nothing to do with.
No, it wasn't really any science fiction at all. It was just this random period of time where Sci-Fi was like trying to do a bunch of reality shows.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that's also when they had the Jaleel White make people eat or touch things in the dark show.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that? I think what was that? Blackout.
Yeah, but I mean, now I
Total
did love
Total Blackness. or
that
something?
show was hilarious because
Fuck
they were
yeah.
always like touch this, and people were like freaking out.
Yeah. That was actually a good time. I liked that show too.
Yeah.
They should bring American Gladiators back.
Didn't they try to?
Oh, probably, but they should do it again.
Yeah, I agree. Why not? I would love to try to be on that show. It looked like a good time.
I would love for you to be on that show. I would gladly go and be in the audience to watch you.
I'd say the one I always wanted to be on was Wipeout.
I would also be in the audience to watch you for that.
All right, Nicholas, which show would you go on?
I mean, if I had to choose a reality show to go on of the ones we were just talking about, maybe Total Blackout. But
All right. You want to be all squirmish? Put your hand in the box.
now
No.
I don't know. I don't think I'd be as squeamish. So I don't know if they would have put me on the show because they would have just been like, all right, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you're
Okay.
not. I know you're not going to do anything that would kill me. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or even really seriously injure me. So,
Yeah. That's fair.
no, I mean, back in the day, I would have absolutely gone on American Gladiators or Total Wipeout, or what was that one that Joe Rogan?
Fear Factor?
Fear Factor. I would have done that, but somebody put a meme up on Facebook recently where they're like, "Oh man, you remember back in the days when you were 20 and you'd spend out all night out drinking and then get up early in the morning and go out and do this, go do that, then go back out drinking again, and then you do it again, and then you'd go to work on Monday and everything would be fine."
No.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I was like, okay, okay, I sort of remember that. And they're like, and now in the 40s you sneeze wrong and throw your back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I live that. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know that. I know that very well. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I mean, I remember back when, back in my 20s when I would sleep 2-3 hours, 4 hours a night at most and be fine. And,
Yeah, that's what I do in my 30s.
stay out all weekend, work 2 jobs, do this and do that. And then, somehow still operate. Now I'm like, I had to go to work. I'm gonna take a 15-20 minute nap. I'm out. I'm done. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I still function basically on 4 hours a night, though, a day, a morning, whatever you want to call what I do,
Yeah,
I mean, man.
and I'm usually pretty good.
that lifestyle caught up to me, and I think I'm paying for it now.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, is there a reality show that's just like sitting around talking?
We can start one.
Okay,
We'll pitch
that
it
one
to a network.
That one I want to be on.
Okay. Well, what about I feel like a game show that would be more up
Yes.
your alley.
Yeah, Jeopardy, The Chase, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I would 100%.
Isn't the chase a team of 3?
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
Where it's pretty much one person that knows everything and 2 people that sit around?
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, sign us up for that.
well, no, because the chase starts, you have the 3 people, and then each individual person goes up against the chaser.
Yeah.
So in the American version, it was Ken Jennings, James Holzhauer, or the other guy, Brad Rutter, one of those 3. And so you'd have a bunch of questions, and you would start the money. They'd give you a minute to answer as many questions as you can. Each question was like $500 or $1,000, and then you'd have that money to go against him. And then, every question he got right, he moved down a board. Every question you got right, you moved down the board. So if you got down to the bottom of the board before he caught you, you got into the final round. So it was advantageous for all 3 of you to make the final, because then all 3 of you get to answer the final questions. And so then if all 3 of you get there, you can get like 20, 25 questions right. Then the chaser has to get that many questions right to beat all 3 of you. Well, if only one of you makes the final round, you're only getting like 12, 13, and he's going to destroy you. Right.
Gotcha.
Well, sign us up for that as a group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why
I mean,
not?
I feel like if the three of us were allowed to like be the team at the end and not have to do the individual part, we would do very well because we would all complement each other in the areas where we don't necessarily know what the other one,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but individually we might suffer.
that's true. And then mock each other for not knowing things.
Well, that I mean, I feel like that just goes without saying.
Please don't mock the fellow contestants. Whew.
Oh.
I
All
don't
right
got-
then.
I say I don't got much else that I've been doing.
I don't watch
Yeah.
anything. I'm just playing this farm sim for like every waking moment of my life.
Wait, like the farm simulator?
No, no, it's
Oh.
not that.
Oh.
It's called My Time at Porsche. It's like a farming sim, but not really
Oh.
because there's other shit to do. But it's more like Stardew Valley, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen Lawn Mowing Simulator?
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah.
What?
It's
That's
pretty
a real
ridiculous.
It's a
Yeah.
real game. You start out and the idea is to like build your company from like a single person mowing like however many lawns to like owning like a giant corporation with like like hundreds of employees. Like it's just and like I was like, really, you decided to make a game about mowing the lawn, and people were like, sign me up, thank you. This is what I've been waiting for.
It's crazy.
Those people clearly don't have to mow the lawn.
Right. That's I assumed as much. It's like, okay, so you don't own a house or you all live in an apartment in New York City. Cause like
Yeah.
the last thing I want to do is go out, sweat my ass off for 2 hours while I'm mowing the lawn.
Yeah. Like you look at the
Don't-
grass and you're like, I don't have to cut this. And then your neighbors cut it and you're like, assholes. Now I gotta cut my lawn. I'm
you
that
go.
guy. I'm that guy on the block. It'll be like, nice lawn, my lawn, nice lawn. And then I'm like, I should probably get out there.
I try to keep up. My neighbor told me about the guy who used to own my house and what he did or didn't do. And so I'm like, I don't want them to be like, oh great, new guy's just like the old guy. So
Why don't we just fence in your yard and get you a goat? And then you don't have to worry about mowing the lawn.
I mean, I know one person who would 100% be on board with this plan.
It's all right.
I mean,
Is said person the boss?
I mean, I'd like to say no, I'm the boss, but come on, seriously, I think we all know who the boss really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, with the lawn I have, we'd probably need a couple goats, but yeah, no, I know somebody who would 100% be on board with
Perfect.
your goat plan.
All right.
That's my plan. I just don't know what to do with the goats in the winter. Do I like bring them in the house?
And I've got the basement, so I can just put them down there.
Right. Convert my shed into a little goat house.
Yeah, I might have to build a goat house. That, and I'm not 100% sure what the rules of the town of Burlington are when it comes to like farm animals or goats. Like, I'd have to look into that. I know when I lived in East Troy, we looked up like weird animal rules, and East Troy has some pretty weird,
They do.
like oddly specific, like what happened in East Troy's history that somebody thought we need to make a law about owning bears.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was actually one of the questions I asked my insurance company. Like when I was doing the house and everything, I asked them if I can own a goat.
What do you
And
say?
They informed me I can. They said you are allowed one in city limits. So I
Cool.
could technically have one goat.
Yeah, no, there was, yeah, look it up one day, Jeremy, when you get a chance, because East Troy has some oddly specific numbers and rules on like the types of animals you're allowed to own within city limits, how many you're allowed to own. Like, they specified certain types of animals that you're not allowed to have, ones that like, and you're just like, okay, well, I don't see anything on here about capybaras. I can get one of those.
I know you're pretty much allowed. I think you can have almost as many chickens as you want, but you can't. But you can't have a rooster
Okay.
because the chickens are for food, so you're allowed those. But once you get a rooster, you got to get rid of them all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because I mean the same person who would be on board with your goat plan wanted to try to talk us into getting a pig. I
Like a
was
mini,
trying,
like a little mini pig, or like a big,
yeah, I think it was a mini pig. I don't
or a
think she
big
wants
pot
to,
belly.
but I was trying to use the rules of East Troy against that plan.
Yeah, it'd be better to live out in the country. You can just do whatever you want.
That is true. Well, I mean, if I ever win the lottery, I mean, we're moving the whole podcast to Montana anyway, by the way.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Because I'm building a podcast studio / compound.
That
We're
doesn't
gonna
sound
start a cult.
culty or
Yeah.
anything.
Well, I mean, things might happen, but I mean, we're gonna build a,
Oh,
and it'll also have an animal sanctuary on the grounds as well. So,
that's fair.
All right.
I mean, but this is also if I ever win like that, several $100 million lottery. Not if I just win $100.
Um,
So
start
don't-
buying little pieces of land with every time you have like $100.
So don't get your hopes up by hey, I won $20 on the lottery. You're not like, all right,
We're going.
back, moving to Montana.
Yeah. And away we go.
Anything we're looking forward to? Any movies that we know are coming out or shows that are starting other than AGT that we're looking forward to?
The Batman comes out in March.
Okay.
I'm kind of looking forward to that. I still want to go see Uncharted. So I might see that within the next week, hopefully.
I know that Halo series is starting up pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Is that Paramount Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get a chance to download Peacock or play with that at all?
No, I have not
Okay.
yet. No.
Because I burned through both seasons of AP Bio that are on there.
Oh,
that
nice.
show is so good. All right, well then I guess we'll just since we've clearly run out of things and we're kind of petering out.
Well, we made it to the hour mark at least.
Okay, all right. At least we did that.
As long as there's no editing of the dead space, we'll be good. We'll have an hour.
We've I feel like we maybe have tested our audience's patience enough this week. I don't,
Yeah, time to go away.
So I guess
fade off into the distance.
Ooh, we'll just play the national anthem and show the test bars.
Switch. Start dimming
So,
the lights.
I guess if you're the Oscar producers and you thought, who's the best option here is Amy Schumer.
Yeah. I wonder if she has to pay them to host.
Or well, I can't really think of anything stupider than that. So just remember, America stupid never walks alone.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you love movies of a certain age? Do you miss the days of VHS tapes and VCRs and video rental stores? Is the thought of another 80s movie being remade seem inconceivable? If you want to go back to school, back to the future, or even back to the beach, then the 80s Flick Flashback Podcast is for you. I'm Tim Williams, the creator and host, and on each episode, I'm joined by a guest co-host as we revisit a different 80s flick to discuss our first-time watch memories, iconic scenes, and even learn some behind-the-scenes stories along the way. New episodes drop every other Friday on your favorite podcasting platform. So make like a tree, get out of here, and go listen to an episode of the 80s Flick Flashback Podcast.